Hey, what's up guys? It's been a while since I recorded my last tutorial. Been busy. Today I'm gonna show you how to create a 360 virtual tour with 3D transitions similar to Matterport. But in this case, we'll be doing it for 3D rendered images. So what do I mean by that? So basically, these are not actual photos taken with your camera. These are rendered images using whatever rendering engine you use, Unreal, Lumion, Vray. So um, I would assume you're here and you know something about that. I'll create a tutorial later on with how you do it with actual images, because you also do that, but I still don't have a like an optimized process. It's still all over the place. So for example, these are actual photos, and it has 3D transitions. But the way we did it, it's hard to explain how we did it. But for 3D, it's kind of straightforward. So yeah, I guess I'll start. Hide my face first. So basically, we're a small team of five, and I do the programming. Do Before I did the shoots, but now I have guys who do that. So for this project, I had my 3D guys render these images. So it's similar to a 360 photo, right? So it's just rendered. The size is let me check. So this is sort of like the map, but we're only gonna for this tutorial we're just gonna do the first row. First row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we did all these for the actual project. I think we rendered this 5K, and then I just resized using Topaz Giga. So it's 8K now, but it's not necessary. You can even do 6K. Um, so let's say you have these images, and then, well, just to explain where we got this, we would purchase 3D models from this website. So we purchased this, and we just edited the frames because there were like 230 plus artworks that we had to insert there. So after you buy this, you'll be provided download links. So I can show that. So here, yeah, I downloaded the formats, but I already did this beforehand, and I already had my guys rendered 3D images. So when you buy a 3D model from Turbosquid, you won't get equirectangular images. You get the 3D file. So you know you have to figure it out on your side how to render these images. But let's say you already have this. First thing you do is you need to um, scale down or reduce the model. So this is the imported model that I downloaded from Turbosquid. So it has a dome. This circle thing is a dome that I think this is where they reflect the environment. So I'm gonna delete that because the model is inside. So as you can see, you don't need those. You just need a simple model. So this is the first step. It's just removing all this unneeded objects. So you might have a better way of doing this through Blender or other software. I find that SketchUp is the best for beginners. I'm not an expert on any of them. I just learned how to use them because I needed it for Krpano. So basically, you have to remove all the complex models. So in this case, you have to delete all these complicated objects. Well, actually, I think I did it wrong because I think I exploded the object when I imported it. Let me try that again. I'll just pause. Okay, so let's try that again. I did an import and open the STL file. I'm not sure how long this will take, but I'll pause it for now. It took a couple of maybe 1 minute. Let me try to remember what I did, because I exploded it a while ago, and I don't think that was the right way to do it. Let's see. Can I delete it? No. Edit component. Do I end up with the group? I don't know how. I don't remember how I did this in the first place. It's gonna take a while. Anyway, I'm gonna show you later on the finished, the simpler model. But I don't think this was the way I did it before. Anyway, it's gonna take a lot of deleting, delete, and also you won't need the outer walls. You have to delete all those. So delete all the complex 3D objects will be deleted. Delete. Anyway, so let's just take a look at how it looks right now. So you know the simplified version. So it has those frames. It has like lights and this hole on top, etc. What else do I have? There's a bench here. There's tiles. There's a door. So try to keep that in mind. Try to remember that, because I'm gonna open the file that's already reduced. Okay, I'm gonna pause for now and open that. So this is the finished model. So I'll show you how it looks like. So you need to keep it very simple. So these are just boxes. So you will need to know some basic modeling in order to do this, but anything that keeps a model complex, I removed it. No outer walls. Even the ceiling, it's just flat. Oh, sorry. Go inside. So inside it looks like this. The windows, I don't know what you call that, the light where the comes in from the roof has been removed. The doors has been removed. Everything has been removed. Even the frames. So I'm gonna export this as STL, and then we're gonna open this in Blender. Okay, I'll close this for now. I'll show you how it looks like when you open it. So I'm gonna open the file. Oh, I exported it in as a OBJ. So, and then we're gonna open it in Blender. So this is the OBJ file. Okay, so once we have that, we're gonna move to Blender. Let me just fix. Okay, first thing we do is you need to buy something first. You need to buy this plugin. This, you'll find it here. I forgot how much it is. So you have to buy this and install it. I think don't remember the exact process, and let me just move this a bit. Can't see the menu. So somewhere here, preferences, I think, add-ons. So you're gonna click install, look for the zip file, and it's gonna appear here. So it's pretty simple. You can find tutorials on how to do those. So once you have that, it will appear here on this part. Okay, the next thing to do, delete, 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 and then add Hanocam. So okay, how did we do that? So okay, let me do a new project because I'm not sure if I don't even remember how I saw that menu. So new general, don't save. Okay, so it's here. There it is. Okay. Okay. Delete, delete, delete. So I'm pressing delete on my keyboard. Add Panocam. I'm gonna look for those 360 images, the rendered images. Where are those here? Tutorials. Blah. So let's start with this one. I'm gonna name it the same name as the file name so I don't get confused. Oh, stupid. I need to I did something wrong. I need to import the OBJ first. So import the OBJ that we exported from SketchUp. Where is that? I don't know where my files are. This one. So this is the simplified model. Okay, I'm gonna name this I put a 00 so it just stays on top. Okay, add Panocam. I'm not sure, but I think you have to have the model selected. But maybe I'm wrong. But click here and add Panocam, or maybe not. And then this was what we were doing a while ago. Okay, and there you have that. Next thing you do is click here. Okay. So what that does is project your 360 image on the model. Next thing is we're gonna set this to viewport settings wireframe. Okay, and then we're gonna drag this to create two windows. This part is confusing. Okay, and we're gonna use one side. Oh, I should have made my screen bigger for the recording. Anyway, as like the actual view of the 360. So we'll use the left side for that. So next thing we're doing is click here and click 0 on my keypad. So I think, I'm not sure what that does, but I think face the camera in front or something. To be honest, I don't really know a lot about Blender as well. I just learned enough so I can do this. And then here, this is where we're gonna start moving the handle. So don't move anything else, just the handle. So I'm gonna click this handle, click this, and start moving it around till I know where the position of the 360 is. So it was somewhere here, right? So as for controls, basically right now I'm clicking the middle mouse, and then if I want to move it, I'm clicking shift with the middle mouse key, or the, what do you call this, the rolling thing, the zoom in, zoom out. So where is this? It's here somewhere. Okay, and then here, this is the actual 360 sort of view. So you can see if it aligns. So we're gonna need to align it. As you can see. Let's start here. So this is trial and error. Well, actually, if you did this in 3D, I should know the coordinates. I just didn't ask it from my 3D guy, so I should have done that. Here, near the door. And yeah, it's too high, I guess. So it's close. Does not need to be exact. So as you can see, those edges, the lines on the top doesn't match because what I did was I deleted those complex corners to reduce the size of the file. So it's okay. You just need it for 3D transition. So yeah, trial and error. I'm gonna pause for now until I get the exact position and resume. So I think I got the best position. I'm just looking at the corners here. Here seems to match that part there. Well, not really, but it will do. So okay, I'm gonna add the second, third, and fourth. Okay, so how do you do that? Here, click again. Add panorama again. I'm gonna select the second image. 0 2 row 0 1 left. Okay. Add panorama. Okay, so what happens this time? The 360 image is now the second image from the left, and now I need to move the camera again. What I did last time was so when you click on this handle and you click here, you'll see some coordinates. I'm gonna copy them, so I'm gonna just take a screenshot. I'm gonna copy them over here. I think there's a better way of doing that, but I just don't know. So I'm just gonna type them here for 543 13.002 1.1604. So it's the same position as the first one, but I just need to move it to the right. Yeah, so by luck it already matched because I know the height of those cameras are the same, so that's why I copied them and I'm just gonna move it left, right. So it's already a match, sort of. This one here, not really. Okay, so yeah, I think that will do, and repeat that again. I mean, it's part of the reason why this sucks. Oh man, hey, what happened? Why can't I see you? Okay, stupid. So add the third image. Click here, click here. This one. 0 through row 03001 center. Okay, and then I'm gonna copy the XYZ from a while ago. 6 4 5 4 3 13.002. I'm pretty sure there's a copy paste feature that I don't know about. Okay, so it's the original first image. Now I'm just gonna drag it to the center somewhere here. Drag. Okay, so it's already a match. Yeah, because the way they rendered these images were similar. Like they just put like multiple cameras around and dragged it left and right. This look too near to each other, but because the way we did it was one here, one here, so we can add the hotspot going there in the space here. So and one in the center. I don't think I need to show the fourth and the fifth. I think you get the idea. So basically we have 3 spots. And the next thing we're gonna do, I think they call it prepping the model. Okay, I'm just gonna save this for now, so we won't waste our effort. 360 tutorials. I'm gonna put it here. Okay, next thing you do, click all the handles while pressing control. So like multiple select, and then the last thing you need to select is the model. So I don't know why I just followed the tutorials. So you do that in here. Where is that? Krpano value, export, and then you're gonna click this, and then it's gonna do some funky stuff. So you're gonna have 2 folders or collections or whatever you call them. One is for generating the STL files, or the 3D model you're gonna use for Krpano, and the other one's for printing the values. So if I hide this, so basically I have 3 models here with different centers. It's actually weird, but I'll show it to you later, why there are 3 of them. But anyway, so for the depth map, what we're gonna do, well, before doing that, let's just pause here. I'll save this for now and go back to our 360 images. So these are our 360 images. So we only did 3, right? I'm gonna do the usual thing we do with Krpano and drag this thing here to make a virtual tour. I'll pause and resume when it's done. So it's finished creating the virtual tour. So if I view this, it's the usual 360 tour, with default skin. I'm showing you this because this is usually the starting point. You can eventually change the skin. Okay, what do we do next? So this is the generated vtour folder. It's gonna have 3 folders for all those tiles because we did multi-res. What I'm gonna do in Blender, oh, that's not Blender, that's Spotify, is here on the depth 3D collection, I'm gonna export the STL for each panorama that we aligned. So here, click here, and then File, Export, STL, and then I'm gonna select the, where the hell is that? The tiles folder here, and I'm gonna click this and this. Okay, did I get everything right? I think so. And I'm gonna call it model. I'm just gonna check if it went there. So it's here. Actually, if I double click that, well, I don't know why it opened. paint. Let's see, there, this one. So it's just the box, right? And then we're gonna repeat it for the other two. So this one, I'm gonna argue that it's unnecessary. But the way they explained it, I mean, you really have to do this if you're doing not 3D rendered images, because it's hard to align the cameras. Trying, can't explain it, but anyway, you have to do this for now. But I'll try to show why you can, I mean, skip doing the other STLs. So I'm gonna do the second one, so here, and the third one. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the folder. So each folder, we're gonna have a model file, the STL. So it's 23 kilobytes. It's pretty small. But if we didn't do the reduction that we did in the first step, this is gonna be so big. It's gonna be unusable for web. Okay, we're done with. Are we? Oh no, we have to print the values. So this collection here, we're gonna use it to print some values. See these ones, we're gonna need these values here. Click window, toggle system console. This one's gonna appear, and we're just gonna click print pano, move to the next one, print pano, third one, print pano, and then go back to that console, and I'm gonna copy this somewhere. Open up my Sublime or whatever text editor you're using. Close. I'm gonna paste it here temporarily. Okay, what's next? We don't need Blender anymore. Let's save this and close. Where do we go back? Go back to the folder, and yeah, we're gonna start editing some XML, the juicy part, that part we hate the most. So we have a virtual tour. So first thing I do is I copied a chunk of code from their niche website. I'm gonna open this one. So this one is the virtual tour that I studied to do that. So, and I'm not sure if I saw it somewhere else, but when I started looking at his source code, he had a like this one. I saw this walk .xml. Okay, so I copied this. So I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in the forums. Looks like a generic walk code, but this allows me to walk around the model. So anyway, copy this somewhere. So I'm gonna copy it. Whoop. Oh fuck. Copy. I'm gonna call it walk. So this is just gonna be for debugging purposes. Let me drag that here. Walk. Okay. That's not part of it. Okay, so I'm gonna include that here. Well, before I do that, I'm just gonna show you. Okay, go back to the, sorry, I have so many windows. How do I go back to the, run this, and then we have this, right? So right now I'm pressing WASD. Like, I mean, if you're playing a game or Counter-Strike, it's not doing anything. But if I include the walk here, walk, and then I'm gonna be able to do that, but it's gonna be weird. Oh wait, I didn't do that because I don't know what I did. Include walk, walk, walk. Does this have to be in the plugins? Let's see. Did it call some sort of plugin? I'm not sure. Okay, let me just pause and figure out what I did wrong. So I don't know what I did wrong, but I just improved the formatting. So let's do that again to not confuse you. Where was I? Links. Brand. So we had plugins, walk, view source. Okay, this is the correct formatting. So, because I copied it from, like, I think there was wrong code there somewhere. Okay, so we have that. And then here, walk, save. Go back to our 360. So now I'm gonna press WASD. So now we can walk in the model, but there is no like depth map associated to it, so it's gonna look weird. But you're gonna see a box. So okay. So we're gonna just using this walk XML for debugging. The next thing we're gonna do is per 360 image, we're gonna insert a code chunk here, which like links the depth map. So I already have that ready, of course, from a finished version of this. So that, so it's looking at the model that we generated, and we're gonna do that again here. Copy this to reflect the correct one. Copy this again. 3. So what does that do? So you're gonna have a model file now, but it's not aligned. Well, how did this happen? I think fluke. By fluke, it's aligned, but it shouldn't be in most cases. So like if we go here, see? So we need, imagine this is your camera and it's not in the right position. So we need to assign like coordinates to the view, or let's say the camera, and that's where this comes in. I mean, remember we saved something a while ago, so we're just gonna copy these values gonna copy this, gonna paste it here to where it corresponds to. So this is the second up to here, and the third one. Okay, let's go back. So we did something wrong. I don't know what, but it's not aligned. That I did wrong. Panos. I'll get back. Okay, I'll pause for now and figure out where I went wrong. Okay, so I know where I went wrong. So everything's correct. But I forgot to insert a chunk of code that needs to go there first before this goes to the center. So I'm trying to think where I got this from, but it seems like I got it from that sample as well. So if you go here, here, yeah. So this part here, I copied and pasted it. So how's that gonna look? Let's go back. I'm just gonna type it so you guys. Oh, no, I'm lazy. I'm gonna paste it. So he created a like an event, an XML complete event that sets up the first scene. So we're gonna create an action that does that. Well, I'm just pasting from the finished tour. So it sets up the first scene, and this is what it does. So it's setting the view. So txt, y, tz, these are like coordinates. And it's getting the images ox, oy, oz. So it's getting these values and like aligning the camera to this. And then it added onload complete. So this gets fired every time a new scene gets loaded. So I'm gonna paste here. So this action, and what it does is this code chunk here. So I just copied this from that tour, and then this one here. I'm gonna explain what all these are. So this one I edited a bit to fit to my requirements. Okay. So to understand what's happening, let's debug. I'm gonna add a console log, set this to true, and then here I'm gonna add a trace to see if it gets called when it gets called. So move to scene center. I'm gonna add a trace here as well to see when this one gets called. Set up first scene. I'm just gonna put it here so that I know. I'm gonna delete that later. Open up, fire up developer console, refresh. So as you can see, this gets called once. When I move to a different scene, it no longer calls the first setup first scene, but from this point on, every time I load the panorama, the move to scene center gets called. Okay. So anyway, it's transitioning now, but there's still a lot of work to do. We're gonna need to put hotspots on the floor. What I did for this tutorial is I also copied the style. I saw that style somewhere here. This one, BR spot. So I copied this because it didn't use any images, and that's my wife picking up the trash. So it's a style of a hotspot that unloaded So this one, on click, it calls this action. Um, this is that action. So on click of the spot calls this load scene, and then these are the flags that we need for the 3D transition. We are gonna need to add those hotspots in order to click them. So to do that, I am gonna create a hotspot for all the points, and I'm just gonna name them the same name with a prefix as the scene name. So here I'm gonna call it spot underscore and scene name. So copy this. The third one, and then we're gonna assign a linked scene. So this is the scene that's gonna get loaded whenever you click on that hotspot. So it's basically it's the same as this minus the prefix. Okay. So the key here is, remember this, it has to be keep true, otherwise you won't see it. And then we're gonna assign like the coordinates where it goes in the like sort of like the 3D space. I'm gonna assign the style as well, which is br underscore spot. And then coordinates, so tx, ty, and tz. This is gonna tell us the coordinates. So where are we gonna get this? It is the same as these guys here, except we're gonna change it to tx, ty, tz. Oh no, we're gonna have to adjust something here later, but I'll show that later on. So remember this is like the camera position, eye level. So this is not gonna match in terms of height, but the other coordinates will be correct. Okay, replace with t, 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 t. Okay, save. Go back to the tour. You can't see it, but I should see it when I'm pressing Q. Q to go up, Z to go down, A move left, D move right, S. So the hotspot is there, but it's eye level. So we need to move the coordinates here. So what do we need to change? We need to change the what value is this? The Y value. It has to be small, I think. Let's try reducing this to, I don't know, 50. Left door. Go back. Refresh. It's still floating. 20. That looks right. Okay. apply to all. I'm gonna change all these to -20. Okay, save, go back. So now we have the hotspots on the floor, and now it's transitioning properly. So yeah, for testing, go to a scene, move left, right. Looks correct. So if we had repeated the steps and did it for all these scenes, then we could walk there. But yeah, it's a lot of work. So what's gonna be weird now is when you click these thumbnails, it's gonna transition from where you are and go to that point. So let's say you're here and you click on this thumbnail, it's gonna go there. So in order to remove that, we have to edit something in Vitor skin. So if you go back here, remember this code chunk here. This is what creates the 3D transition. So it tweens the views XYZ to the images XYZ, right? So if the camera was from another panorama, it's gonna transition to the next camera's coordinates in the 3D space. So in order to skip this part and not transition, this is the workaround that I did. If you can see here, it's like I'm changing the views XYZ to the images XYZ and added some random values. So I didn't tween it, because if I do a tween, it's gonna animate to that. So I just did the set as the starting point, and then here is the animation to do this. So I changed the starting position as to start from the panorama we're currently in, but almost the same as where you want to transition to. I don't know if that makes sense, but in order to use this, we're gonna look for the action that does that. So in skin, add thumbs, you're gonna see an on click here somewhere. So this is what gets called every time you click that thumbnail. So I'm gonna add a trace here, so you just see what happens. Test. So you can see here it gets called, but so it's transitioning a lot. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add like a set here. So before I do skin load scene, I'm gonna set the custom transition that we did here to skip, so it falls to this place, because we know this code chunk gets called every time you load a new panorama, right? So now we're just setting it here to skip, so that when this part loads, it's gonna fall here and not here, because by the end of this action we delete that the global custom transition, so it falls here every time. But for this case, since we set it to skip, it's gonna go inside this like chunk of code here. Let's try that again. So now what's happening is it's transitioning a bit, and regardless where you are standing. So let's say you're in a second floor and then you click on it. So a while ago what was happening was it's gonna go to that well, I'm gonna open a new window and compare it to the one a while ago. without that the code chunk we inserted. So I'm gonna remove this. Return it to the original first. So here, this is the original. I'm gonna click here. It's gonna transition there, right? But here, what happens is it transitions a bit because I added a sort of like move a bit code. So if I made this 0, I'm gonna comment this for now and show you if I just set this to well, let's make it the same. This will not animate at all. So this is like the usual, like before, like a normal panorama. But since I added a bit like some random values here, so if I make this bigger, like 100, so basically it's moving from the X position plus 100 towards the actual camera position. Oop. But this one has 15. I mean, I think you get the point. So let's say, so for this I added 15 on the X and Y, but if I added for the Y position, which is the height, it's gonna come from above and transition down a bit. See? So, oh, I think it came from below. Let's make this 150. So if I make this negative, it's gonna come from above. See? Anyway, I think you get the idea. So if I just make this 0, there's no animation at all. So yeah, there you have it. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna disable the walk because we don't want users walking around the space, because yeah, it's not an exact 3D. They have questions about like collision. I saw in the forum. Let's try to search for that. Collision. How do you spell that? Collision detection. They're talking about this in the I can't find it, but they said, I saw a post where it says Klaus, the creator of Krpano, says this will be available in the next version. Hit walls. I forgot the keyword. Not that one. This one. Okay, so yeah. Last year, version 1.21 will support collision hit testing, the depth map. So we have to wait, but eventually we can walk around the space and hitting the walls, not like right now. So if I remove this again, I'm gonna be able to walk through walls, donk, donk, and go out the 3D model. Yeah, that's about it. There's a big part missing in this tutorial, which is the dollhouse. It's kind of complex to create, and like I said, I don't really do the 3D, and I have guys doing the 3D for me. It involves some baking and like shit that I don't know about. Um, but I'm gonna study how he did this and ask him to teach me too, so I can teach it to you. But it's almost the same concept, but this one is an OBJ file with baked textures. What we did was we use STL files, but the process same. We reduce the model to like just boxes, um, to make it small. One thing I need to show you, because this is too ideal. This is small, but like the projects I did before, the model file will be big, like MB, and as your model gets more complex, the file size gets bigger, and you're gonna want to keep this file small. So what you do is you can encrypt this. So if you drag all the models here and encrypt it, it's gonna make the file size smaller. So from 23 kilobytes, it became 3. So I thought if I had a big STL file, then it would reduce it. But apparently, it has a limit. You can only have the model file smaller than 10 MB. So 10 MB, if you encrypt it, I'm not sure where it will end up. Maybe 2 MB, 3 MB, but that's, for me, that's still big. So you really have to keep your model very small. I'm gonna try to open those projects. I mean this one. Let's see how big the model files are, because this gallery 7 here, this is a huge model. Just gonna try to look for where it is. Anyway, I'll pause for now. So I found it. So the compressed is 210 kilobytes and the original is 1 MB. Let's try to open this. So yeah, it's a complex model. But how we did this was, we had a Matterport scan of the place. I mean, these are pictures from Sony A7, but we had scanned it separately using Matterport, and we sent that model to a freelancer in Fiverr and have them do the model. But though there's transition, it's not really exact. If we compare the model to the actual one, it's really far, but it still did the job. But you will notice these imperfections when you use a headset like an Oculus and view this in the Oculus. You'll see that these are not aligned to the actual like walls. Like the 3D model is higher. I mean, try to walk now and you'll see, oh, there you can see it here, because the balcony is bigger by a few, I don't know, inches. Yeah, that's it. This one took an hour, but I hope you learned something. On the next tutorial, I'm gonna try to show you how to do it in an actual photo. But the process almost the same, except you're gonna have to produce a 3D model of the actual place. Because what we did here was, we rendered images and we just downloaded a model of that rendered image, and everything was ready, and we just deleted some parts of the 3D. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.